Richard Crouse.
Do you think that personifying your depression by calling him Mr. Darkness and the Darkness, and as you do all the way through the book from very early on, do you think that has given you a way to deal with it in a way that other people maybe don't understand because you have an image of what it is, or you have an idea of this? You know, I got the idea that every time you refer to the darkness sitting over there, I don't know, for Mr. D, in my mind, it's like a guy with a cigarette holder and a tuxedo and a goatee. I don't know, but I personified it, and I think that made me understand it more. Has that worked with you?
Yeah, that was a surprise for me actually in the writing. He suddenly appeared. That was not. I'm not the kind of writer that writes out a what do you call it? A game plan, and then I just launch into it. I just finished writing a script, and I started the same way. I didn't have a beginning, I didn't have an end. I just said, I'm going to start writing a script, and that's the way I used to write as a kid. You know, they'd give you. It was the only thing I ever got good grades and attention on at school were my essays. Everything else I was terrible at. But they give you a line. The girl walked into the store and noticed the man behind the counter looked edgy, and then I'd write, and I'd just make it up as I go along, and it would form a story, and it would be something really I felt was really good, and so that's the way I write, and so he appeared. Mr. D just appeared through the narrative, and I called him one time. I called him my darkness, and then I started viewing him as this guy, sitting over there. I have my mental view of him, and it's great that you do. But I think it helped the story that he was in the third person. It made some interesting conversations. It made
me understand.
Yeah. And it made him an interesting. It made it less model and less woe is me, less poor me. It was this dick of a guy sitting over there fucking with me all the time, and that's what it really feels like. I mean, like I say, sometimes I'll feel good and I'll start going, start tapping, and he'll be sitting over there and he'll go, yeah, everything's just fucking great, isn't it, dipshit? And I'll go, no, it's not. You're right. I feel like shit. I'm right. Why am I being so happy? I have nothing to be that happy about. So it is that. And like I said, he really did suddenly appear in the book.
Last question. Jesse's Girl, I think, would be your best-known song. I think it's fair to say that.
That's unquestionably true.
In the book, though, you're not dismissive of it. You say you're very proud of it all the way through, but you are you push it aside often. What are your feelings about that song?
I'm very, very proud of it, but I have done other things. I mean, it's more than a hit song, and actually not every writer produces a song that has done what Jesse's Girl's done. It's taken on a life of its own. It's nothing I did. I mean, it's up to the music gods and the people how they view it. I mean, I had nothing to do with putting it in Boogie Nights. I had nothing to do with it being in Glee. I had nothing to do with it being the center of 13 going on 30. I had nothing to do with it being, put in Friends when Friends was the hottest show on TV. And it was just, for some reason, it's one of those 80s, iconic songs, and I'm incredibly grateful for that because, every writer wants one, and so I am never ever, I never go, oh God, can we stop talking? I do it as a joke in the book. Now, can we stop talking about Jesse's fucking girl for the moment? I'd like, but that's kind of a way of wrapping up all the great things that it's done. But I'm very proud of it. It does overshadow other stuff. They always play that. I think that I've written better songs, but that one they'll probably play at my funeral.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Richard Crouse.